How did the Monroe Doctrine relate to the Cold War? Have you ever wondered how a policy from the early 19th century could shape the political climate of Latin America during the Cold War? The Monroe Doctrine was introduced by the United States in 1823. It stated that any foreign intervention in the Americas would be seen as a hostile act against the United States. Fast forward to the Cold War, and this doctrine took on a new life, especially concerning Latin America. During the Cold War, which was a time of intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union, the Monroe Doctrine became a tool for U.S. foreign policy. The United States viewed the spread of communism, supported by the Soviet Union, as a direct threat to its influence in the region. This led to various interventions in Latin American countries, often covertly, to prevent or remove governments that were seen as leaning towards communism. One of the most notable events was the Cuban Revolution, which resulted in a communist government in Cuba. The United States invoked the Monroe Doctrine to oppose this change, arguing that it was essential to stop Soviet-backed communism from spreading in the Americas. The situation escalated during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. President John F. Kennedy used the Monroe Doctrine to justify confronting the Soviet Union over the presence of Soviet missiles in Cuba. The United States also supported military coups and authoritarian regimes in other Latin American nations. Countries like Guatemala, the Dominican Republic, and Chile experienced U.S. intervention to install or maintain governments that aligned with American interests. These actions were often justified under the guise of protecting the region from communism. From the perspective of Latin American culture, these interventions were often viewed as a form of neocolonialism. Many saw the United States as exerting control over their political and economic affairs. The U.S. role in overthrowing democratically elected governments and backing authoritarian regimes led to feelings of resentment. This perception of U.S. dominance continues to influence how Latin Americans view American policies today. In practice, the Monroe Doctrine during the Cold War created a complicated relationship between the United States and Latin America. Many in the region saw it as a way for the United States to maintain power rather than a genuine effort to protect them from external threats. The legacy of this doctrine still affects U.S. Latin American relations in contemporary times.